Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to dig into product ideation. It's really about moving past just, having ideas to generating ones that tackle real problems.
Right, because lots of people think it's just brainstorming in a room, shouting things out.
Yeah.
But effective ideation, it's actually quite structured, purposeful.
Exactly. So our mission here is to give you some practical ways to generate better product ideas, ideas that are actually worth testing. We want to get you away from that blank whiteboard stare.
Yeah, so we'll cover what good ideation looks like, then maybe 3 specific techniques you can use right away, and crucially, how to evaluate those ideas, plus pitfalls to avoid.
Okay, let's start with what it isn't. It's not just shouting random features, right?
Yeah.
Or ignoring the problem.
Definitely not. And it's not about focusing on shiny objects without knowing why you're building something. Good ideation, well, it builds directly on research. You need that foundation. And it always stays connected to a really clear problem statement.
So you need the problem first.
Yeah.
Clearly defined.
Absolutely. And another thing, good ideation encourages generating a lot of ideas initially. Quantity over quality at first. The judgment, the filtering, that comes later.
That sounds a bit counterintuitive.
Yeah.
But it works within limits.
Exactly. It thrives within constraints. It's not just wild, chaotic brainstorming. It's focused creativity. Bad ideation often jumps straight to a solution, skips understanding the why,
Yeah.
or gets bogged down in surface level stuff.
Got it. Okay, so let's get practical. How do we actually generate these better ideas? What are some techniques? You mentioned how might we? Tell us about that.
Yeah, HMW. It's a really simple but powerful way to reframe a problem. So instead of stating the problem like users find onboarding confusing.
Right, which is negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You turn it into a question starting with how might we help users feel more guided during onboarding? See?
Okay. It flips it into an opportunity. Makes it feel solvable.
Precisely. It opens up exploration, turns the problem into a space for creative solutions.
Okay, technique number 2.
Let's talk about brainwriting. This one's great because it's, well, quieter. It addresses the issue you sometimes get in brainstorming where only the loudest voices get heard.
Right. How does it work?
Simple, really. Everyone gets a piece of paper, maybe writes down, say, 3 ideas silently. Then you pass your paper to the person next to you. They read your ideas and then add their own ideas, building on yours.
Oh, interesting. So it's collaborative, but starts individually.
Exactly. It allows for that quiet reflection first, and it ensures everyone contributes. You get some really interesting combinations that way.
I like that. Okay, third technique.
Storyboarding. And this isn't about detailed UI design, not yet anyway. It's more like sketching out a user's journey, step by step, like a little comic strip.
So focusing on the flow, the experience, not just the screen.
Yes, exactly. It forces you to think about the whole interaction. What's the user doing before? What happens after? It helps you visualize the entire scenario, not just isolated features. Leads to more holistic thinking.
Makes sense. These techniques give you structure, moving from understanding the problem to actually generating potential solutions. But, okay, now you've used these, you've got maybe loads of ideas. What next? You can't build them all.
Right. Now comes evaluation. And the key here is not to get attached too early. You need some logical ways to sort through them. Frameworks can help.
Like what?
Well, a common one is the impact versus effort matrix. Pretty straightforward. You map ideas based on their potential positive impact versus how much effort or resources they'd take to implement.
Okay, so you're looking for high-impact, low-effort ideas, ideally.
That's often the sweet spot, yeah. Another useful check is desirability, feasibility, viability. So number 1, do users actually want this? Is it desirable?
Makes sense.
Number 2, can we build it? Is it technically feasible with their resources and skills? And 3, does it make business sense? Is it viable? Will it help the business goals?
That DVF check sounds pretty comprehensive. What about simpler ways, maybe more collaborative?
Yeah, you could do something like dot voting. Give everyone, say, 3 sticky dots. They just put their dots on the ideas they think are strongest. Quick, visual way to see where the team's energy is.
Right, and the main thing is, the best ideas aren't always the most exciting ones.
Often, no. The best ideas are the ones that genuinely solve the core problem you identified. Within your constraints, alignment is key.
Okay, super helpful. Before we wrap up, any common mistakes people should watch out for? Ideation pitfalls.
Oh, definitely. A big one is falling in love with the very first idea. You generate one decent one and just stop exploring.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Another is jumping straight into UI design, thinking about buttons and colors before you've even figured out the user flow.
Storyboarding helps avoid that one, right?
It does. Also, ignoring technical feasibility, coming up with amazing ideas that are just impossible to build, and finally, focusing on symptoms, not the root cause, putting a Band-Aid on a problem instead of really fixing it.
So it sounds like effective teams keep generating, they combine bits of different ideas, they let things evolve.
Exactly. It's iterative. You generate, evaluate, refine, maybe generate some more based on what you learned.
Okay, so the big takeaway here seems to be ideation is valuable if it's focused on solving the right problem.
That's it. Stay connected to your research, use these kinds of structured techniques to boost creativity, but also be ruthless about evaluating and discarding ideas that don't hold up.
Great advice. So here's something for you, the listener, to think about. Look at a challenge you're facing right now, maybe at work, maybe personally. How could you apply just one of these techniques? How might we, brainwriting or storyboarding, to look at it in a new way?
Give it a try.
That's your deep dive for today. Thanks for tuning in.